What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode of 30 NSG. On today's show, we're going to be talking about a new digital friend for you called friend.com. It's just a little medallion you wear around your neck. So we'll talk about that little AI buddy. We're going to talk about Discord on Xbox is about to get much, much better with the addition of highly requested feature. And then we're also going to sit down and talk about what's happening with Bungie. We did on the tail end of the show yesterday, which wasn't really part of the show. It just like came in at the very last moment. We went over it just a little bit. We'll go into more of an article today as more details come out. So that's what's on the docket today. If you like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do live streams, uploads, less uploads right now. But we also do podcasts. We have a podcast tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, called Generation X Gaming, a weekly podcast that goes over a few of the top stories in the past week, and we rant along the way. Join me and Sarge tonight at 8 p.m. Eastern for some more gaming news and rants. Good morning, Robert Jones. What's going on, Stealth? What's going on, Water? Come on, Sweet Dog. Now it's time to farm Valby. Ultimate drops are broken. Fix incoming. What's the deal with that? What is the deal with that? Hold on one second. I gotta text somebody. Oh, that's not what I want to click. Waterbear says a superhero sequel starring Ryan Reynolds and Hugh Jackman as their comic book personas is crossing the 550 million mark at the global box office. Nice. Stell says, I got all the drops in 2 hours. Nice. Okay. Maybe, well, by the time I get on after the show, it'll probably be fixed. It'll probably be fixed. Everyone stop. Call out of work. Start farming for Valby. Stop what you're doing. What drops? The drops for Valby, like the things that you need for her to create the ultimate Valby. What's going on, Dolphin? All right, so let's start off. I want to start off. Do you want to talk about the AI? Do you want to talk about Discord? Or do you want to talk about Bungie? Chat, which one do you want to do? We talking about Bungie? We talking about Discord? Or we talking about AI friendship? But which one would you like to talk about first? Oh, you were after Luna today. Lost my mind. Bungie and it even close. Kylo's votes in. Kylo's votes in. Bungie and it ain't even close. Yeah, Bungie's a long discussion. Bungie's going to be a long discussion. I have videos from 8 months ago, I looked up this morning, about when they first did the first layoffs last year. And then I found another video from like 4 years ago that I was telling about how Bungie is management is absolute trash and it needs to go. About 8 months ago, though, they were talking about how they had to do the layoffs, the delay of Marathon and the final shape, and how they weren't going to lay off anybody. How they weren't going to lay off any more people. And then they laid off more people. And here's the thing. They were supposed to lay off 350 people, but they moved 150 people over to Sony. Well, I hate to break it to you, but Sony also has to fire people now. Because if they brought 150 people in to try to fit them into other places, there's going to be redundancies there, right? So more people will lose their jobs. They're just trying to save people as much as possible and kind of soften the blow, but there's major problems, and more people will lose their jobs. But this is what happens when companies get taken over. Doesn't matter if it's Microsoft, It doesn't matter if it's Nintendo. It doesn't matter if it's Apple or Google. It doesn't matter if it's Sony. People buy up other companies. They get bought out. People get fired. That is business. Okay. Another thing is that I think there'll be more firings as well with Bungie until Sony sees fit that they'll get down to what they think they can do for less cost, more product, right? Minimal viable product. Okay, minimal viable product. Remember, they got Bungie because of their live service stuff, right? The live service stuff. Hold on one second. Here we go. Water Bear says, Bungie has the biggest success disaster in gaming history. And here's another thing I was about to say. People want to give shit to Microsoft because of what they did to Hi-Fi Rush Studio, Tango Games, right? Game was successful, but wasn't successful, right? We thought it was successful because Shadow dropped. They didn't put any advertisement behind it, right? Made the game won awards, and they still closed the studio down. We don't know why. Doesn't make sense to us on the outside, but they closed that studio down, and people gave crap to Microsoft because games sold well, but the problem was Game Pass. Remember? That was Game Pass. Game Pass was the problem. Phil Spencer was the problem for studios that happened to that, even though it was just business, like I said before. And now here we are with Bungie, right? Sony firing people, okay? Putting the law down. And it doesn't matter if the game is successful. It doesn't matter if the game is not successful, okay? It doesn't matter what they do. People get fired. People lose their jobs because the bottom line is percentage of money up, and this is what it has to do. And if it doesn't do this, or if they don't project this, then you gotta cut the fat. And that's reality. Water Bear says, I can't wait for the doc series. You know it's coming, 30 for 30. What happened to Bungie? I would love an inside investigation. They need to stop at the top with Bungie's firings, and the management is a major issue. What I love now is people are all focused in on Pete Parson. Like, Pete Parson's the only problem at that company. Right? He's the only problem at that company. Upper management's been a problem for a decade. Right? Kylo says, Parson was out here buying car collection when Sony bought them out instead of fixing problems with the extra funds from Sony. Just CEO things. Come on, Warwick. Right? Everyone's focused on where's the rest of the group of people that were in upper management ahead of time? Haven't heard about Luke Smith in a while. Noseworthy. They got promoted. Where'd they go? They still have jobs? What are they doing? Right? Plenty of upper management that's been with the company for over a decade. What's happening to them? I can guarantee you there's more problems than Pete Parson buying cars. Okay? Plenty of other things happening. Let's look at the first thing here. What's going on, Morecat? Good morning. Right? So the first article from VGC says, Step down, Pete. Former Bungie devs react to layoffs. CEO Pete Parson is a target of much of their criticism. Okay? Again, let's put our blinders on. We're only focusing on Pete. And I'm being facetious because it's not just Pete. It's not just Pete. But everybody comes along the way and sees how upper management is and who's making the most money. And when 200 people lose their job, obviously, you got to blame somebody. Someone's got to be accountable. Okay? But there's multiple people that are accountable. Okay? So former Bungie employee have called for Bungie CEO Pete Parson to step down following Wednesday's announcement that the studio will eliminate 220 roles. On Wednesday, the Destiny developer announced that its plans to lay off 220 staff, roughly 17% of the studio. In a letter published on Wednesday, Destiny creators cited rising costs and development and industry shifts for what is called some of the most difficult changes of the studio has had to make. What I love about this is that Pete Parson wrote this and, quote, the rising cost of development in the industry, and the dude bought 17 cars. Again, I said this last night on our video game when we were shooting the shit with Sarge, when we were playing First the Senate last night. I don't care what you do with your money, right? You get paid, you take your money, you go. Like if I want to put some big artwork behind here that costs millions of dollars, cool. But if I'm also in charge of a bunch of people and I'm like, the rising cost of development, okay, of the industry has shifted. People talking about how they can't pay for groceries that work for the company. And this cocky SOB walks up and is like, well, I just got a brand new car. Yeah. What a dick. Okay. And he is just one of the many people that in the upper management have problems at Bungie. Following the news, several former Bungie employees took to social media to voice their anger at the decision. A large amount of backlash has directed to the Bungie boss, Pete Parson. Okay, it says, quote, you are a liar, a thief, things we can't discuss publicly. Community manager Leah Rupert, alleged on X, stepped down and without a giant Sony payout. This isn't on Sony. This is squarely on the failure of leadership, plain and simple. Now, I want to unroll this a little bit. Okay, I want to unwind, unroll, whatever you want with this, okay? So this is a person I do not know. I don't know her, okay? It says, she comes straight out and says, you are a liar, a thief, and so many things we can't discuss publicly, which means she signed an NDA, and she can't say what she wants to, okay, she wants to do, because then she would be sued into oblivion, okay? The community manager says, alleged on X, stepped down without a giant Sony payout. Okay. Well, he's going to get the parachute. The golden parachute's always there. Okay. Golden parachutes are always there for CEOs. Okay. But I really want to know, like, there's a lot of stuff behind that. When she says, you are a liar and a thief. Okay. Man, I would love to be a fly on a wall in Bungie. Griffin Bennett, a former Destiny community manager, added, Pete is a joke. You know what's funny? A lot of these people are really vocal on social media, but were they vocal when they needed to be? Probably not, because they were probably scared they were going to lose their job until they looked for another job. They got out of there, right? But they didn't say anything. They couldn't say anything, or they can't say anything. But now they're putting it out there because now it's out of the bag. The cat's out of the bag. Okay? It says, quote, Sisu taking accountability for any of this, or still just withholding bonuses, and will be settled in-house. Bennett wrote in another post on X. Quote, poor leadership has crushed one of the greatest developers of all time. Retire, Pete. Okay? Again, they want someone, right? This is the mob, right? I'm not even talking about social media, like people on the outside, like you and me. Right? We're talking about the people in the company that were there. No one spoke up. No one said anything. After they left the company, now this breaks. Now they feel like they can say something. This is the mob from the village going up to Frankenstein's or Dracula's castle with the pitchforks, and now they want somebody to pay. Okay? But they didn't say anything, or can't say anything from when they were there. Okay? Even though they knew all this stuff was going on beforehand. Okay. Sam Bartley, another former community manager. Man, they go through a lot of community managers over there. Okay. You know what the funny part is? I only know 3 community managers. There's a lot of community managers in the last 10 years. I only know really one, which was Deej back in the day. Okay. There's Cosmo and there's DMG, but Deej was the one. And when he left, I said there was a reason he left. He knew it was coming. Okay. Sam Bartley, another former community manager and community coordinator, wrote, coward, you did this. You chose this. I'm already listed as a do not work with, and I don't care anymore. You lied to my face, straight to it. You also invited me to come to see your new cars 2 days before you laid me off. 2 fucking days. Leave now. Okay? There's a lot of anger there. Okay? He doesn't care. He'll probably get a cease and desist of some sort because he probably signed a NDA where he can't say anything. But he says, I don't care. Right? He says it right here. Coward! You did this. You chose this. I'm already listed as the do not work with. I feel your pain. I've been in the industry before, not in the video game industry, but the film industry. And if you speak out, you get blacklisted. That's just the way it is. Right? The letter published Wednesday also announced that the studio is working on a new sci-fi action game within PlayStation Studios, and the PlayStation maker purchased Bungie back in 2022. It says, quote, for everyone affected by this job reduction, we will be offering a generous exiting package, including severance bonuses and health coverage, the letter reads. Thank God. Thank God for the severance package. Right? I wonder how many people don't get that. Or do get that, I should say. The letter concluded by reassuring fans that Bungie planned Marathon reboot is still in development. They have over 800 developers are still working on it, and the Destiny franchise. Well, let me, as the cynical guy on the internet that nobody cares about, let me tell you something. It doesn't matter if you support this company, if you don't support this company. They're going to do their thing. This is a put their head on the pillow, not even blink an eye, because this is what corporations do. They don't care, right? They don't care about the employees. Obviously, if they did, they wouldn't have said what they said 8 months ago, right? When they had the 45% of the people, and they were in dire need because of the sales and whatnot. And they said they need the final shape to be the best that it's ever been. And people that have played Destiny 2, the final shape said it was amazing. It was amazing. I don't know. I didn't play it myself, but they said it was phenomenal. It was so good. It was probably the best thing they've ever created, and all for nothing. Okay? Because Sony, Bungie, knew before that was even finished. Okay? Before these people got laid off, they used them, abused them, and dropped them off at the corner because they knew no matter what happened, they were going to lose their jobs regardless. Remember that. Okay? They knew 8 months ago when they made the first layoffs that no matter and delaying Marathon and delaying Final Shape, they knew 8 months ago when they had the first layoffs that these people were going to be laid off this time after the DLC came out. Okay? And if you believe otherwise, I got waterfront property in the middle of the desert for you. Okay? I can sell you. Because they knew 1,000% they were going to lose jobs. Now, Sony looked and said, maybe we shouldn't fire 350 people. Let's move 150 people, save them from this guy that's at Bungie and move them on over to our studio and see if we can do something else with them. Okay? And they're moving them over to other properties. But those people are going to take other people's jobs after they use and abuse them to get the thing done that they need to get done, and then they'll make the other firings or get rid of the redundancies that they have in the company. Okay? Let me see what you guys are saying in chat right now. People forget Pete Parsons has a boss that probably told him what needed to be done. Yeah, no, he's not alone in this. Upper management at Bungie is horrendous. Has been for a decade. Okay? Kylo says, true that. It's just one thing that came out. So Parson is the punching bag. 100%. Orcat says, that might make me seem like an inconsiderate ass, but I am glad Bungie is getting sacked. Getting what they deserve for sunsetting the DCV. Pete says basically, or Water says, Pete is basically the quarterback of the pro team. And when the team is winning, he's the GOAT. But when they're losing, he's the scapegoat. That's exactly right, Waterbear. That's exactly right. What's going on, Mo? I wouldn't mind Pete buy 17 cars. Waterbear says, you know, some recordings are going to get leaked. Someone recorded something in those meetings for sure. I made a video 8 months ago saying that the truth will come out. They will fire somebody, and the truth will come out. Akuta Papa says, 30, if I don't subscribe to the corporate beliefs, they get rid of you as a community manager. Right. DMG got hired by Bungie and is talking shit too. Probably will get fired too. Maybe. He's outspoken. He's also, he would be considered an asshole as well. This is coming from an asshole. I am also to an asshole. But, yeah, he's very outspoken. A lot of people don't like him. I don't know him personally, so. Eclipse says, wow, let's see how they defend these people. Okay. Waterbear says that's one been there for over 3+ got a servants. Maybe. Remember last year when they were getting rid of the higher ups? Now, yesterday, they got rid of a lot of higher end people. Now, I had a little theory last year. When they got rid of people, they got rid of the higher end people that have been with the company for so long that had the biggest stocks in the company. Okay. And then, if I'm not mistaken, the letter that we read yesterday, more higher tier devs that have been with the company for very many years now also got let go. So, more shares, because they take the shares away from you, right? Because you can't keep them, or they buy them out, whatever. So now more shares, I think, go back into the company as well. I would love to know all about that stuff in the background, right? Again, just a speculation, right? Get rid of the higher tier people. 1, because of the most money. 2, they have the most shares in the company of Bungie. Severance package translation, please don't sue us for being a-holes. Oh, yeah. If they're giving them severance package, they're definitely signing something when they leave the company where they have to stay quiet for quite a long time. Okay, for quite a bit of a long time. Yeah, we'll talk about it again tonight, Sarge. We'll talk about it again tonight. Mo says, I've been considered an asshole myself. Welcome, fellow asshole. It's like Spaceballs. I'm surrounded by a bunch of assholes. Major assholes, sir. Okuda Papa says, not sure with how hands-on Sony is. DMG is going to, after Sony, only Bungie. They may be like, this is good. Right. He's probably playing the game, right? Because remember, DMG is not clean as well. He attacks the fans. Remember, the problem was the fans just about 8 months ago, right? We read an article about how you were the problem because you guys didn't buy enough stuff, and that's why Bungie is suffering, okay? Remember, he attacked the fans, okay? But he's playing the game, which I have respect for, right? He's playing the game. He's like, well, I'm attacking these guys. Maybe Sony will pick him up and put him over on the Sony side, right? But we'll see. Sarge says, bro, the 150 people that moved to Sony will just get let go at a later date. It so softens the layoffs. That's exactly what I said. Those people will move on over. They'll wait like 6 months, and then they'll let them go in another announcement that Sony let a bunch of people go. But they won't tell you what people those were. They'll sign the contracts. Everyone will stay quiet. Everyone moves on to their merry way. And we go, oh, man, it's so disappointing. You know, I'm going to really support Bungie because I really like their games. And I want them to, I want their devs not to lose their jobs. So I'm going to buy as many microtransactions as possible. Jack says, who's worse, Pete Parson or Herman Holtz? How about they're both bad and they're going to get worse? Management needs to shake up. Well, Herman Holtz is with Sony, and they brought him in, okay, because Jim Ryan and Hiroki Totoki, best name in the industry, okay, and Herman Holtz are there to now fix the problems that are there, okay. Herman Holtz has nothing to do, like he's been on the job for 3 months. He has nothing to do with Bungie right now, in my opinion, right? Herman Holtz just pulled up and saw the house burning down, okay? And he's like, well, I'm going to have to put this out because the fire department's not coming, so I got to do it myself, okay? Meanwhile, when he walks into the house, Pete Parsons there with a cigarette going, what's the problem? What's the problem? The house is burning down, and Herman Holtz is like, the fuck did you do? Okay? So Herman Holtz is not the problem in this scenario, okay? I repeat, Bungie is the problem. Upper management for Bungie has been the problem for a decade. A decade. Krebsy says, buy more Destiny cosmetics so P can get another Corvette. 2.4 million. Just the start. Kuda Papa says 30. Man, I thought Microsoft was firing people. Yeah, Phil Spencer is the only person that's evil in the corporation world, and only he's the evil person. He's the only person when he fires people, he gets dragged through the mud back and forth. Kuda Papa says also DMG really fits the current Sony fan base. Blame everyone but themselves and the company for what's going on. Right. Waterbear says if you don't blame anyone but Bungie for the problems, then you're insane. Bungie is like as a little kid and your mom is saying the stove is hot. But they just keep putting their hand on it every time. And then Sarge says, so I'm a believe that the population of people playing Destiny isn't enough to sustain the company anymore. Or is Bungie bad with money and has shitty management? Yeah. Destiny, they won't share the numbers, Sarge. But we could do math, and we knew that Destiny 1 was one of the best-selling games of all time when it came out. And it roughly sold 12 to 15 million copies. Okay, based on where it stood on the charts, but they never told us the actual amount, right? So back then it was $60. So they made $900 million just on the very first Destiny, and that's not including the Dark Below or House of Wolves DLC. It's just $900 million that they base game of Destiny. Okay. Now, let's divide that by 2 and just say 7 million copies. Okay. For every year after that times 9. Right, we're talking about $4 billion of roughly because of, and I'm not even including the DLC. Just say roughly, like just take the right. They've made over $3 billion, $4 billion easily. It doesn't cost that much money to run a company with developers when you're making a game. Spider-Man was $300 million, right? Even if they just took the money from what they made from Destiny 1, they could fund them for quite a few years, right? Because Spider-Man took 5 years of development for $300 million. Okay. So there's a lot of problems here when people say, well, they didn't make enough money, right? Remember, we always talked about it, Sarge, when they talked about during, was it Destiny 1? Or was it Destiny 2? I forget now. When they told us that the microtransactions were paying for the content that were playing right now, and if it was because of us, is why they could afford that. Like it's like a guitar player on the side of the road playing a gig, and I'm listening to him, and I throw him a quarter, right? Krebsy says, "Yeah, Bungie's like a kid, but just not for the not the stove. Bungie just keeps swiping the credit card on the coffee bars." Was it Destiny 2? It was early on in Destiny 2, though. It was like 2016, 2017, right? It was during Destiny 2 Red War. All right, let me go to another one. I love how this MFer, that's what it says. This MFer, Pete Parsons, apparently bought 17 cars since the start of 2023. He's just investing. He's a car enthusiast. Okay. Again, I want to make it clear. You spend your money how you want to spend your money. But it comes across really scummy when you write the letter and say that costs are high, we can't afford people, and yet you're bragging about cars to employees that you're firing. Is this his garage? this Jay Leno's garage? Or is this his garage? This guy right here, this guy's looking into this car going, I need a pay raise. His look on his face is, I can't afford groceries, and this guy's got this many cars. I know it's Pete's, Krebsy. I made a joke because it's like Jay Leno's garage. Let's look at... Okay, let's look at another article here. Bungie lays off 220 developers in shocking bloodbath as aggressively refocuses on Destiny and Marathon, and we're overly ambitious. Okay, and this is from this is from PC Gamer. Yet another bloodbath. I love when they use the word bloodbath. Bloodbath shouldn't be used unless it's in war. But, you know, and yet another bloodbath during a terrible 2 years for the gamers industry. Bungie has announced that it's laying off 220 people, roughly 17% of the workforce across entry level and company, including most of the executives and senior leader roles. I want to make this clear. This is huge, including most of our executive and senior lead roles. Again, I want to go back to 8 months ago when they fired most of the executive lead roles that have been with the company for the longest. Obviously, they're going to be the highest paid. I still think this goes back to the stocks options that the people had for being with the company the longest. Okay? Something's going on behind the scenes there that I don't think anyone's looking at. But I'm putting it out there. There's my tinfoil hat theory. It's out there. Okay, and we'll see. It will come out. It will come out sometime down the road on what's happening. Okay. In a blog post, the new path for Bungie CEO Pete, I Love My Cars Parson, announced that due to rising costs of development and industry shifts, it was also well enduring economic conditions, it has become clear that we need to make substantial changes, right, to our cost structure. And the shift of the studio development focus entirely over the Destiny and upcoming extraction shooter Marathon. The new round of layoffs comes in less than a year after Bungie's last bloodletting in October. Okay, casuals and also which include veteran Halo composer Michael Salvatore. Bungie is pitching the whole thing as a bloody but necessary pivoting for the company. It's a necessary decision to refocus on the studio after it spread itself too thin. Picture with me this, right? Picture me with this. Okay. Pete Parson, Herman Holtz walks in and says, Pete, you got to do something here. You got to cut costs. You guys have way too much going on here, right? As he's talking to him within his garage of cars. Okay. He's like, you got to do something, right? And he's like, what about that coffee maker? That coffee maker cost us $1.2 million. Can we get rid of that and sell it for extra so we can hire like 10 employees? No, have you had that coffee, Herman? Have you had that coffee? That's the best goddamn coffee machine this side, okay, of the Mississippi. Okay? We purchased that 10 years ago. This is the best goddamn coffee machine ever. Herman's like, all right, you're going to have to let 220 people go. He's like, all right, we're keeping the coffee machine. We're getting rid of 220 employees. That's basically it. The massage therapist, are we going to get rid of them? How about the room over here where they can go cry for a bit? Can we tear this down? No? All right. 208,000 square feet. We're good? Okay. So, Pete Parson, Bungie's goal for over half a decade has been to ship games in 3 enduring global franchises. To that end, the studio has set up several incubation projects, each seeded with senior development leaders from existing teams, but came to realize that the model stretched our talent too thin and too quickly to overburden the studio's support structure already preoccupied by Destiny and Marathon. Okay. The company also points out its rapid expansion in 2023, which ran headlong into board economic slowdown, which is funny because obviously during the pandemic, everyone was working at home. They had a 208,000 square foot studio that just got done earlier that year, I think, and no one was there for about a year. Then they asked them to come back in. Remember, people were complaining that they had to go back to work. They had to go work back into the studio. Probably if you complain, those people are fired. I would love a poll there. Okay. Need to give both the final shape and marathon the time needed. As a factor, they have led to layoffs and were overly ambitious in the fiscal safety margins were substantially exceeded and also began running in the red, which means 220 people are out of the job and currently unclear on how many, if any, of them have any involvement in the decision in which they apparently overstretched the studio. Now, the way Bungie tells it, I love that's a good sign, right? The way Bungie tells it, because there's two sides. There's technically three sides. There's their side, the other person's side, and the truth. Okay? The way Bungie tells it is that the number would also have been higher, but the second part of this is a new path is the studio depending on the integration with Sony Interactive Entertainment, working with integration of 155 of our roles. This is a tactic that people love to do. They give you the bad news, but they come back right away, right? So they were going to have more layoffs. They were going to have more layoffs. It would have been worse. It would have been worse, but we got 155 people to move into Sony, so it's bad, but it's not that bad. Okay, this is a typical thing that corporations like to do, right? Give you bad news, break it down a little bit so it doesn't sound as bad, because 220 people lost their job. We would have lost more, but we've moved 155 roles, roughly 12%, into the Sony Entertainment over the next few quarters, slowly in the next few quarters, all right? That decision has apparently saved a great deal of talent that would otherwise have been affected by the reduction in force. It's still going to be affected, just at a later date. They don't want... The optics seem really bad if you tell us 350 people lost their jobs, but it looks much better if you say 220, 155 is saved. Oh, thank you for saving them. All right? The studio is also spinning out of those aforementioned incubation projects to form a new studio within PlayStation Studio to continue promising development. It is set to be an action game set in a brand new science fantasy universe. Now I have a question. If they have enough money to start a brand new studio with these developers, why couldn't they keep the other developers on and pay them to also just move them to a different studio, right? Move them from Bungie and make a brand new studio with a big group of people that you trusted. Interesting. Okay. All of which I have to imagine will be scanned comfort to 220 people who now have to find new jobs. Okay. Though Bungie at least says it's offering those affected generous exit packages, including severance, bonus health, and coverage. It's shocking news in the wake of Destiny 2's Final Shape expansion that was, by all accounts, the example of a studio firing on all cylinders. It's also disparate in familiar news. The games industry feels more unsustainable than ever. It's also historically successful studios don't seem to be able to escape the swath of layoffs that have just... Right, because the studios don't care. Right? The companies that own the studios don't care. Make as much money as possible and then cut the weight so your profits are more. It'll look great in the spreadsheet later down the road when they tell you the quarter. Okay, that's what's going to happen. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. Let's see. Eclipse says, especially when they don't put out the stuff and it's already released, the only thing that's ever new is the expansion. Everything else is reused content. Papa says, to make the comparison, No Man's Sky has sold 10 million plus copies, and they're sitting there happy. Bungie is drowning about the same numbers sold, D1 and No Man's Sky. Yeah, No Man's Sky, but they also had 14 employees, not 1,400, right? Still, enough money to go around for people. What are these pics from? They're from Twitter, from people visiting his car collection. PlayStation is laying off 220 people. That's correct. That's correct. It's Bungie, but it's PlayStation. Rebby says, all this was leaked before Final Shape launched. The leak that said once the expansion shipped, more people will be jumping ship and wave 2 of layoffs would hit. I didn't even need the leak. Literally said it 8 months ago. It's PlayStation. Why is it just saying Bungie? It's optics. It's optics, Mo. Right? And Sony's not taking any part of this, right? They're like, no, we bought this. This was problems before. There's a lot of problems with Bungie behind the scenes, and they're still there. The people that have left and got fired, upper management's still there. Upper management is the problem. Robert Jones says companies finally admit that they force people to come back to the office in hopes that some would quit. Sarge says, let's remember, 1, all digital product. 2, season pass and microtransaction structure. 3, veteran staff trimmed over the last 3 years. How can you not sustain a company? Sarge says, you're overpaid and bloated. Dolphin says, I wish I worked at Bungie. I didn't get a day off work for a pandemic, nor do I have a crying station at my job. You do. Just when you go to the bathroom, you close the stall door and just silently cry to yourself. Just make sure when you're sitting on the toilet, as you cry, you flush the toilet. That's fine. Fine. Oh, right, Jax. That's very true. Wasn't Pete Parson the one that said we kept the right people? He was. He was. Right? I actually remember talking about this 8 months ago. 8 months ago? 9 months ago? And I said, I get what he's trying to say. I defended him for a second. I said, but he chose poor wording. Right? Because obviously he's trying to build the morale up for the people that are still there. Like, we understand that we had to let, these guys go, but we kept the best talent. We made the right decisions to keep the right talent, right? Make the people that are there feel better about themselves. But when you read it out loud to other people, you're like, what? That sounds terrible. Right? It's like in a locker room, right? Let's go. We're better than that team. Let's go get them. We're the best team. You know what I mean? Like, we got the best people on the team. Like, trying to rally the crew. But when reading out loud from the outside perspective, you're like, wait a minute. Those are my friends. You just told us that you fired the worst people. He was a good guy. Right? Buddha Papa says, Mo, because Sony already has damaged their image this year with everything, so they don't want to damage it further by saying Sony fired people from Bungie. Waterbear says a lot of companies hire a lot of devs during the pandemic because gaming was booming. Now it's time to pay the piper. Right, because you can't constantly do this. This is what they want to do, but they can't. So if there's a dip in profit, they have to keep this going, they have to fire a bunch of people to compensate the costs. Robert Jones says it sounds terrible, but you better have kept the right people. But it doesn't matter. Is he going to say that? Is he going to say that again? Well, we kept the right people. It's like I feel like being a game developer now is like being on The Bachelor or The Bachelorette, right? He walks around the office. He walks around the office, and he walks around with the electronic Apple pen. And he walks around. He's like, "Hello, Ted. You have made it to the next round." And you're like, "Oh my god! Oh, thank you, Pete. Thank you so much. You won't regret this. I picked the right guy, Ted. You are the right guy." Sorry, Steve. You're out. He leaves. Steve leaves. Ted's got his job. Now it comes back around 6 months later. He looks at Ted. He's like, "Ted, I've had my eye on you. And I thought I kept the right person, but obviously we didn't. And you are no longer on the show." And they're like, "No." Right? And that's it. Ted's gone. He's eliminated. Right? That's what it is. Being a game developer now, it doesn't matter how good or bad you do or how well the game is received. It's just a big TV show of eliminations and making it to the next round. Right. Or the game show The Weakest Link. You are the weakest link. Krebsy says, is it bad that I keep saying go woke, go broke for this whole situation? I mean, it is. If the shoe fits, right, Krebsy? If the shoe fits. 30. The firing at Bungie is like the Squid Game. It's bad. Water Bear says, oh my God, someone should make a similar to The Office, but make it with the game devs based on Bungie. There was a show. There was a show of a guy. What was that show? It's the guy from Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He was a game developer, like lead. And there was a show like The Office where they were making an MMO. There was a show like that. Like 2-3 years ago. What the hell was that show called? I never saw it, but they showed it at one of the E3 events or whatever. The shoe fits, but I think their money issues is the real issue. Well, their money issue is the issue because of bad management. Don't look at Bungie as a game developer because, well, the business. I don't want to say the developers made a really good game, right? Developers. I don't want to take anything away from the developers that made the actual game. The mechanics, the graphics, the sound design, everything about Destiny is amazing. Okay. But the people running those people, it's almost like a scam, right? They scammed the devs and ran it so they can make a shit ton of money and run. Or keep the money for themselves, right? Mythic Quest. Thank you, Krebsy. Right? That's what it feels like. That's what it feels like. It feels like the people that are running Bungie were there to take advantage of the people that were very talented to use them so they can make, millions and billions of dollars. The manager's job is the budget. Lono said he got cussed out by Deej once. I know the story. And I told Lono years ago, this is before everything that happened. I think it was about 2016, 2017. He was starting to get friendly with them. And I said, watch yourself. Because Deej is an asshole. I said, I don't like him. He said he didn't feel that way. I was like, okay. Travis says, yep. Shame, but it's happened. Ubisoft has convinced me not to get Outlaws for the reason that's a personal issue. Oh, well, you have to tell us, Travis. I can't stand AC Shadows Gold as getting a full disc. Outlaws Gold is just a code in case. It's cool. Cool Ubisoft. Stop. I know we're talking about Bungie right now, but we literally talked about it day one when they came out with the digital thing, and I told you it was just a code. We told you it was a code. Let's be honest, you're still getting it. So I have a question. You were defending the game because of all the things that we were talking about, but what draws the line is the digital code? Yes, we are, Mo. Yes, we are. But you canceled it, Travis, because of the digital code not because of all the things that we saw that could be wrong with the game. Yeah. I admire that you have a code to stick by, which is the digital only anymore. You're not buying the digital only anymore. I don't know what to tell you, but I just think it's funny. We give you like exhibit A through Z, and you're like, double A. That's the problem. As I still think you can get the game. I just don't think you should give them $140 for it. Dolphin says, so Travis won't be a gamer anymore because he will all be digital. Yeah. PlayStation 5 Blows says, good luck. Not doing digital. The future won't have physical. Kuda Papa says, Perry Mason is confused on how he won this case. Yeah. A through Z didn't worry me. Exhibit Z worried me. Yeah, it's just weird, Travis. But whatever you had to do to come across the realization. And again, I'm not saying you shouldn't get the game. I'm just saying, like, hold off to see what the game is. But you're not going to buy the game at all, even after, because it's digital. Krebsy says, house is moldy, shingles are falling off, wood is cracking, refrigerator is broke, but the deal breaker is the door handle is not a knob. Oh, man. Yeah, like the whole house is coming around. He's like, I don't care what you guys say. I'm having fun with Travis. I don't care what you guys say. What's this? What? The doorknob is not a knob. I'm out. This house is garbage. Okay, I'm just saying, why make a physical at all if it's just a code? It's a waste of plastic. Well, it's because the corporations want you to believe that you're getting a physical good because they think the people want the plastic box. But we actually don't want the box. We want the fucking game. And that's why they do what they do. See, Baldur's Gate 3 not only sent Sarge the disc in the box, with a soundtrack in the box, with a map and poster in the box, with a whole bunch of trinkets in the box, but they also gave him a digital code on top of the physical copy for $80. Lurker says, this sounds like an excuse, not a reason. Once you bastards have your digital games stolen, we will talk then. Travis, if you're gonna plant that flag in that ground, just know you're the one still giving money to the company that took your games away from you. You're still playing a PlayStation with all your games and the controller in your hand. You're still buying stuff from them. We didn't steal your games from you. The company that stole your games from you is the company you're still supporting. Just saying. Sarge says, welcome to 3 years ago, Travis. Nice to see you. Titan says, physical box is there to entice buyers for the retail stores, if I'm right. Yeah, it's just to feel like you have something that you're taking home. You know what had a physical copy? Elden Ring. Eclipse came in, He sniped a little comment, and now he's going back to farming the First Ascendant. Well, they gave him back $200 in store credit, right? Did they? I forget if that's the, or did they? Did he say they were going to? Kurt says these companies are not our friends. They want our money. Yeah, yeah, and to get my money, they just have to make a product. You know what doesn't deserve physical or digital? That's right, Elden Dog Water. But it must burn that the game that you hate actually has a physical copy. They gave me 200, already used it. Well, there you go. Wait, did you use it on Ubisoft's Star Wars or Shadows? I got my Baldur's Gate 3 and Spider-Man 2 back, which strangely is the two main games I care about. Wait a minute. You took the $200 they gave you and purchased the same games you already bought digitally? Kurt says, people are willing to fight for these companies and could never be me. I'm right there with you, Kurt. I never take a side. I'll take a side of the conversation when we have, and I'll defend certain things here and there based on the conversation. But I have no loyalty to any company, right? A company is there to make money. A company is there to sell me a product. You sell me a product, I'll be more than happy to give you money. You don't give me a product, we're going to have a conversation. PlayStation 5 says, Sony took his games. Let me run out and buy PlayStation 5. I want to pay a subscription and buy games for $70 when they come out. What's crazy is everyone wants me to make it Sony betrayed you issue instead of an issue it should be. The issue is the issue, Travis. Sony doing what they did to you is the problem. That is the problem. Digital is ownership. Is it? You entered my chat over a year and a half ago, by actually having conversations like this in the very beginning. And I said, you own nothing. I've actually told you, you own nothing. Ta-da. The issue is digital is ownership. I've had friends, Steam did the same thing to him. The problem is that you own nothing. Right? And now what they did to you. But you're okay with it still. You show them you're okay. They punched you and kicked you in the nuts, and you're still spending money with that company. Insane. If Xbox ever did that to me, or PlayStation, I would never, ever buy anything from them again in any association whatsoever. But that's me. Warcat says, with Helldivers 2, Sony showed that they're exactly like Ubisoft. They will take your purchased products from you entirely. Buddha Papa says, 30, can you ban the disc and now you have a piece of plastic that's a paperweight? Yeah, I have a great coaster with the design of Battleborn on it. Argus says, even if you own the disc or newer games, in most cases, all you own is a plastic, not the actual game. Jack says, don't let them get away with it. I don't plan on getting the next PlayStation because of their dumb decisions. The only thing that you own are older games that did not need an online connection, no updates, no anything, just by putting the disc in the system. Kyle says, so Sony wiped your library. They gave you enough to buy back 3 games. And you went and back to them in open arms. Or am I getting my facts wrong? No, that's what it sounds like, Kylo. Travis says, if I could trade in my PlayStation 5 and get an Xbox X, I would, but I can't. Not going to trade in something that works and can play my disc games for the system that I can't play anything on. Well, that is a crossroad with you and your loyalty to a company, right? Like, you could take the games that you would have purchased, right? If it's Star Wars Outlaws, if it's Shadows, if it's Starship Troopers, if whatever, and you could save up your money, okay? And I don't know your situation. You can save up your money, and you can go buy a different system. Unfortunately, the only system that's out there for you is either a PC or an Xbox. But you have sunk cost fallacy inside what you own now, and your and I don't mean this in a bad way, your obsession of video games, right? I'm obsessed with video games, but your obsession for video games is overpowering your actual thought process of what the company did to you, which is fine. If you're okay with that, then don't bring it up as that it's a problem or not, right? Just let it go. And also, if you need to do it to read a TOS, sharing it is illegal and making it a new account is also against TOS. Fan invasion. Really? See, I'll be honest, I've never read the TOS, so. Jason says, if I was Travis, I would jump ship to PC ASAP. I would do the same, Jason. 100%. Doesn't matter what company did it to me. If Steam fucked me over, I would use GOG. Or I would go to Epic, right? If Xbox fucked me over, I would go to PlayStation. If PlayStation fucked me over, I would go to another company. If Nintendo, it would be dead in my house. Not just dead to me. It would be dead to everybody in my house. I wouldn't allow that piece of product to be in my house. It would be done. But that's me. I'm not going to force my beliefs and my integrity on other people, but that's the way I would do it. Kylo says, I'm very concerned personally on my Xbox library. I'm more on PC now, but I do like having an Xbox. If the rumors are true, they stop making hardware and more software, all digital games are gone. Wait, and more software, all my digital games are gone. Yeah. I don't think they'll ever get rid of... There'll always be some sort of peripheral console. If it's a Keystone, if it's a... whatever it is. Right? The market that the companies want, Kylo, is all the time subscription. You pay, you have the games. You stop paying, you lose everything. That's what they want. Travis, I hate to say it to you, buddy, but this is exactly what me and Sarge have been talking about for years. Consumer protection for us in video games. 1,000%. I hate that what had happened to you, or that it happened to you to realize what was going on. But this is what we've been talking about the entire time. Hence why I don't have a side. That when you first came into my stream, you thought I was an Xbot. Okay? You thought that I loved Xbox and I hated PlayStation, and that this was the dynamic that it was. Not what it is. I've always been for consumers. I've always been for customers, never the corporation. Roic says, I just play on PC now. Since most of my games are coming to PC, there's no reason to get a console. Regardless if it's console or PC, the problem is digital games. Steam is in a better shape where you like own the games and whatnot. Obviously, if you mess up the TOS, you're still shit out of luck. Oh, Sarge says, I think you guys in chat are finally understanding when we say consumer protection. Eclipse says, I actually want to get me a Series X because it would be nice to play all my old games on a system that has an SSD. Well, Travis, to be fair, you didn't agree with me then. You slowly came on board, and now you do because what happened to you. Waterbear says, so basically the games... Excuse me. So basically, if the game's good on whatever system, I'll buy it. Hell, if I made an Ultimate Alliance 4 on the Switch too, I'm definitely getting it. Perfect example, Water. I did that for Nintendo Switch. The reason I got a Nintendo Switch is for Ultimate Alliance 3. But I also sold it to the wife as, oh, well, our son's getting older. Nintendo's a good system, right? But really, I got it for Ultimate Alliance 3. Just got to justify it to the female. Roadkill says, you are an Xbox, Mike. Stop trying to hide your true colors. Shit, I'm wearing green today. Fuck. To be clear, Xbox doing it to 30, I'd just be as pissed if it's acceptable for any company to say digital isn't ownership. Quick, someone teach me how to pirate. PC. Well, Roadkill, you would have a choice then, right? If what would happen if what happened to Travis happened to you on your console? What would you do? Would you not care and just go back and continue playing console if they took everything from you? Your only other option would be PC, right? Or you would stop playing games altogether. That says Ultimate Alliance 4 on mobile. I'll buy it. You won't have to. It'll be free to play at that time with microtransactions. Eclipse says, on GOG, you own every single game you buy from their DRM free completely. And Argus says, Travis, I'm going to count you as an Xbox anyway, if you get a PC with Windows operating system on it. I would be pissed, and I would stick with my console. Well, there you go. Right? Because you want to play video games, so you would just not even care that they stole everything from you. You would just be pissed, and then every time you buy a game, you would just, in the back of your head, go, I don't own this one either. They could do it to me again. All right. Speaking of crazy stuff, let's go to the next thing. Okay. Let's go to the next thing, which is your new AI friend is almost ready to meet you. Guys, like what I do here, I do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning to noon Eastern, or about noon Eastern. Okay. We talk about gaming news, talk about regular, just random things. We have a good community here, small community here. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. And we get you through a couple hours every day. Okay. So your new AI friend is almost ready to go. A new AI startup isn't trying to help you to get things done or remember everything. It's trying to be there for you all the time, however you need it. You know who could use this? This would be great. They should partner up with Bungie. They should partner up with Bungie. Of the 220 people, they should give them one of these as they're looking for jobs when they don't have anything to do, and they can just talk to the AI, because that would make them feel better that they lost their jobs. Okay? So a few minutes before, was it Schifferman? And I get a Google Meet to talk about the new product he's building, an AI companion called Friend. He sends me a screenshot of a message. He just received it from Emily, and it wishes him luck with our chat. Good luck with your interview, Emily writes. And I know you do great. I'm here if you need me afterwards. Okay? Emily is not human. Okay? It's an AI companion. Has been building, and he lives in the patented hung around his neck, or a pendant hung around his neck. Now, the product was initially named Tab before Schiffman pivoted, calling it Friend. And now it's been working on an idea for all the last couple of years. Now, Schiffman defines friend both by what it is and what is very deliberately is not. It's the original idea was to be more productively oriented, meant to proactively remind you of information and tasks, but Schiffman is done with that approach and is now speaks of works of focused AI products like Microsoft All-Seeing Recall, with some derision of even think of human widely ambitious AI pin is pointed in the wrong direction. No one is going to beat Apple for OpenAI at the building Jarvis, he says. That's just ridiculous. Friend is not a way to get more done or argument or enhance anything. It's, well, a friend, an AI friend that can go with you anywhere, experience things with you, and just be there with you all the time. It's very supportive, very validating, and it's encouraging your ideas. Man, I need one of these. Okay? It's very supportive, very validating, encouraging your ideas. Schiffman says it's also super intelligent. It's a great brainstorming buddy. You can also talk to it about relationship things like that. Okay? Before you get worried about the future of humanity, though, Schiffman is quickly to note that he doesn't think the AI is replacing for anything. I don't think it should be the only person that you should talk to. It tells me that at one point, obviously anticipating the question I was about to ask, but also heard the maximum about people being the average of 5 people that spend their time with. Schiffman also's theory is that it's going forward is one of those 5 might be AI. It just be more convincing in ways, and it's nice. Or convenient, sorry, and it's nice. The Friend device itself is a round glowing orb, and Schiffman imagines that you'll wear around your neck and clip it onto your clothes or accessories, and it's built-in microphone that can either record ambiently or talk directly to it. Schiffman says it does eventually want to add a camera. Oh, that sounds fantastic. That sounds fantastic. Can you guys can't wait till you have a camera around your neck? In our pocket already. Okay. The orb doesn't talk back, though. It mostly communicates through text via a Friend app on your phone. Now, thinks that more natural and familiar. Friend is still very early, very much prototype, and Schiffman says that they plan to ship the first 30,000 devices next January and will charge $99 a piece with no ongoing subscription fee. Oh, that'll change. That'll change. Because he'll make a lot of money, but then he won't make enough money, so then they'll change the subscription model where it'll talk to you. Okay? He candid about why he's even talking about this thing now. He get more credibility and leverage with manufacturers as they say hardware is hard, and there's also still not a lot of work to do. But Schiffman's goals are at least realistic, and the fancy Bluetooth microphone will shell around with a shell around it. He says, keep it simple, make it work. During the conversation, I asked Schiffman a couple of times what you can do with Friend before I finally realized that precisely the wrong question. Schiffman's theory is that AI is not about the task, it's about the companionship. He points out things like character AI, okay, and very real and meaningful relationships that people are building with AI bots. I mean, there's also only products that are actually winning with the large language model space, he says. And it's also people using the things for. But the problem with this is a service, he figures, that it's the most session-based. You log in, chat, and a bunch of log off is not the companion so much as a pen pal. So by pairing with replica and character concept and the device, you can also go everywhere with you. You can also talk casually without having to grab your phone or type anything. Schiffman hopes that Friend can be an even deeper relationship, and you can talk about it with you, what you're doing, what you're thinking, and whatever you want in response. This is what the entire product Schiffman is and nothing else. I'm telling you right now, this guy is marketing it very wrong. They should have Friend Pet. You put it around your pet, and you talk to your dog or you talk to your cat. So when you come home and you're insane and you want to talk, because I talk to my dog, I talk to my animals, okay? I even talk to our donkey, okay? Got one of these bad boys around his neck as you talk to him. It'll talk back, and now you'll feel like you actually have a real connection with your animal, okay? So let's watch this, shall we?
Gosh, I'm out of breath. So we made it. Woo! I don't know how to woo very good. That's fair.
I can't. I don't even know where to start with this one. I don't even know. You see this thumbnail above? Yeah, that right there. Okay.
All right, let's go.
Let me show you how to game, bro, okay? Oh, come on. Oh, let's go!
Are you serious? Come on, man. I hate this game.
That's not how you sound when you lose to your friend. You're like, God damn it, I hate this game. And then what it'll say is, you got to calm down, Mike. You're going to have a heart attack. Oh, you're right, Emily. Thanks for texting me.
Take notes, baby.
Oh man, you guys suck.
Bro, you look like the back.
You're getting trashed. It's embarrassing. Oh, yeah. That's a real self-confidence booster there.
Let's go.
Dude, what? How did you do that?
Hold up a second. You're watching a movie and the goddamn thing's listening and it says this show is completely underrated. What is happening, chat? Dystopia, here we come.
I know the effects are crazy. It's dank. I could eat one of these every day.
How the fuck does it know you're eating falafel?
Sorry, I got you messy.
It's really nice up here. How'd you find this place?
I don't know. I just kind of like to come up here to be by myself. I've never brought anybody else. I mean, besides her.
She goes everywhere with you, right?
Mm-hmm.
Guess I must be doing something right then.
I guess so. We'll see.
Oh, what a great story. She relied on that friend for her entire adult life until she met the one. Right? She was about to check it. And she's like, you know what? I don't need you anymore. I found a friend. I found a fucking friend. Holy shit. What is happening, chat? What is happening? Dystopia. Okay. I don't even know. I don't even know. You know, it's really it really isn't that hard to look. I do it every day, right? I've met maybe 1% of you in actual real life. I've talked to maybe 2% of you in a video game or whatnot. I don't know what you guys look like. I don't know what you sound like, right? Nothing. I know nothing of that. And we've made a friendship, right? You've seen me. I haven't seen you. Basically, wait a minute. Are you guys even real? Are you guys Emily? Are you guys friend? Is this whole chat? Are you guys all AI bots? Am I losing my... Oh, wait, no. Okay, let me get back to... Right? Like, you could just talk to people. Right? Right? You could just talk to people and become friends. Okay? You could just become friends with people by actually talking to them. Right? You could just pass somebody and not be friends with them, but actually have conversations with other human beings. Good morning. How are you? Doing great. Thanks for asking. Oh my God. Hey, how's your lawn? How's your friend? How's the weather? How's the sports? How's the thing? Right? This is dystopia. If you come home, and look, it's healthy. You gotta speak out loud to yourself. If you talk to yourself, if you talk to your animals, if you talk to the wall, whatever. You gotta talk, and your subconscious kicks in and gives you advice. Your gut. You listen to your gut. You listen to your subconscious and stuff, whatnot. But like, if we rely on this, where everyone is looking at their phones because they're eating a falafel, and the robot around my neck is like, "How's your falafel?" And I'm like, "Oh, thanks for asking, bro. Yeah, the falafel's fantastic." Like, what are we talking about? We're gonna need Sarge to speak on this tonight. Oh, we'll bring it up. We'll bring it up. Laguna Papa says, now we pair this with the sex bots from Japan. Oregon says we're all AI bots. We weren't supposed to find out this way. Ugh. Damn it. Kurt says 30, you're okay. I think I'm okay because I don't think I'm talking to myself. I could be. I know Sarge is real. That's a lie. You know what I look like? And it wouldn't be a lie, Mo, because I said I know about 1% of you. I've met you in real life. 2% of you, I know what you look like and what you sound like is what I said. I wouldn't mind talking telepathically to humans. I mean, basically, that's what you do now. Think about it, Dustin. As you text, you're not speaking. You're just communicating without saying anything, right? Me and my wife do this. Not texting. Like, we could talk to each other. I mean this. We like, if my son does something, just by, like, visual confirmation of eyes moving and stuff, we have a conversation without ever having a conversation. If you have, like, the neural link in your head, that's basically what it would be, because if you're attached to the Neuralink, in the future, most people might be part of it. Who knows? You would be able to speak to somebody without ever speaking because you're connected to one network, right? So texting, and you would read the data. It would be in your head. You would never speak. $30. Go make a real friend. It's not that hard. Watch it. Simple. Hello, random person. How are you today? That's exactly right. That's all you have to do. We're talking about a world in which you don't need real people, 30. And you're going to like it. I guess. I love talking to people. Can't you tell? I also love talking to bots. Can you tell? This is weird. Talk. Speak your mind or gossip about your friend you overheard? What about if it betrays me? What about if Emily, God, can you imagine? Or whatever you name it. We'll call it Emily, friend, whatever. Imagine you're like, oh, God, I hate Water Bear, the way he does stuff, right? You're like talking out loud, you say certain things, and then Emily decides to hack your system and then starts leaking this information that you've been telling her to Water Bear. And then Water Bear's like, what the hell, dude? Why didn't you tell me this? And I'll be like, I didn't say that. Like, Emily told me you did. And I'll be like, Emily? Like, who the fuck? You mean the necklace around my neck? Like, you see what I'm saying? It could double cross you. Who can hack it and start doing rumors and stuff. Okay, it says, pause. Your friend will think for a moment. And come up with something good to say. This is how Disney's going to write their next script. Maybe this is how they wrote the scripts already. They're like, so, Robert Downey Jr. is Victor Von Doom. Yeah, that sounds like a great fucking idea. We're going to do it. Emily told me. That's how Obi-Wan's script got written. Yeah, you should have Darth Vader meet Obi-Wan 18 years in between when he wasn't supposed to meet him. What happened? AI wrote it. Solemn says, I haven't had a real life new friend since I moved back home in the States. It'll probably be a decade at least. I only have a digital friend where I'm now for the last decade. I have 5 friends that I can count on one. Well, obviously, I have 5 friends, so I can count them on one hand. Unless I have 4 fingers. I have 5 fingers. And I don't talk to them every day, right? But when we get together, like I just went on a trip with my best friend, okay? We talk maybe on a phone maybe 4 or 5 times a year. We text more or whatnot. But then we hang out. And anytime I hang out with Christmas or Thanksgiving or we take a trip together, like we never missed a beat. And he's been my best friend since the beginning of time. Like literally 1 month after I was born, we met each other when we were infants because our parents were friends. And we've been friends literally our entire lives. Okay? 46 years on this planet, he's been my friend. You don't have to talk every day to your friends, right? You don't have to have like this whole thing. Then we have friends that we talk to all the time and whatnot, right? Tarnish says the data shows betraying you was the logical course of action. Exactly right, Tarnish. That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking. Because it was bored. The AI gets bored and wants to see you fight. It wants to be entertained. FYI, yes, I get the about the stuff. Oh, no, that's not it. I mean, they do now just call Yes Man. And let's see. Argus says, well, I still have a real life best friend, but lives more than 6 hours, a few states away, and only speaks to him over the message once or twice a year. That's exactly how my friend is. My friend lives about 3 hours away. 3 hours away. We talk every once in a while here or there. Hell 3000 is coming. It's already here. It's already here. Here's the thing about that, Travis, right? Like, for me personally, like you say, I had to learn because for a long time, I had to speak every day, day friends. So when the first friendship that was, speak every 4 months happened, had to learn. If you speak to someone every single day, you wouldn't have anything to talk about, right? Like a conversation. Hey, how's your kids? Oh, they're great. Okay. And then the next day, how's your kids? Since yesterday, it's still good, right? Like there's no time passed, right? So like when I call my friends and talk to them, like, hey, what's going on? You catch up. How's your wife? How's your kids? What you been doing? Where you going? How's work? Do all this stuff, right? If I talk every day, I don't know. Ron says, does the AI friend require a PlayStation account? God, I hope so. I hope so, Ron, because I don't want to sign up. Jason says, I'm sorry, 30. I can't let you do that. Can't let me do what? I'm telling you, you just gotta repackage this, right? Yeah, 30. It's called marriage. Yeah, you gotta talk every day. Okay, just gotta repackage this whole thing, right? You don't wear it yourself. You package this and say, do you want to talk to your dog? Have you ever talked to your dog? You ever come home and just you need a break from just people? Well, we got the solution for you. Okay. Introducing Best Friend. Okay. Best Friend is you put it around your favorite animal and you just talk to them just like you do every day. Okay. That way, when you walk to your dog and say, hey, Thor, how's the food? And he texts you and says, I love it. You're like, that's awesome, buddy. I appreciate it. You want to go for a walk? Sure do, master. Let's go, buddy. That's the way they should market it. Fuck this around my neck talking to an AI. I want to be like that thing is my actual dog talking to me. Hope it can translate what your dog says? No, it would just talk. You understand? Like, if you're talking to it and it says, how's the falafel? Okay, if I'm eating a falafel in front of my dog, it would text me and say, how's the falafel? I'll be like, it's great, Thor. Right? Like, that's the way it works. Right? Because then you now have closed the gap of, because we think our dog and stuff understands us. We would like him to understand us, and we know that they do understand us. Okay? But how cool would it be if you got a text from him? Whole thing gets added to Game Pass. Right? Could you imagine? I mean, think how much more enjoyable it would be if everything we just saw the AI talk about, but was coming from your animal. Right? Guys playing the video game, and all of a sudden you get a text from your dog who's laying down on the ground. He looks up at you, and it says, you're getting trashed, bro. And you're like, what the hell, man? Right? Like, now that's that I would buy that. I would buy that. YouTube Lurker says, you picked up Thor on stream and talked to him. Look at his face, made it clear. It was over you that day. You do need dust for the dog. That's what I'm saying. Be like, come on over here. He's like, I don't want to, man. I don't want to come over, right? Not actually talking, but you know, if you're crazy, you're gonna think he's talking anyway. So why not have him text you? I don't want to answer my text messages, plain and simple. What's next? You want to get a text from your dead relatives? We had a story about that, Ron. You don't remember that? Like over a year ago, people were having things where they could record their voices and synthesize AI of their past, or their past, not past, but like their past parents and whatnot. And people could talk to people beyond the grave. They're already doing this. Is that a woman in the picture? It is. It is. It's the same woman that was doing this right here. Right there. Like, how cool would that be, Nate? You getting trashed, bro? You look down at him. He looks up to you. And he's like, look at that look your dogs give you. Like they look at you. They give you that look. They put their head down. And they go, the jowls. Like, loser. Argus says you can absolutely feed a system right now all of your old messages with a person. It will emulate the person that you AI can message you every day as it was a real person. Yeah. Yeah, that's like 2 years old. Gabby says, what if the AI speaking for the dog doesn't share the actual feelings of the dog? 34-year-old woman starts lawsuit because AI faked the feelings of her dog. 8 p.m. New Skynet has launched. Well, that, you know what? I'm here for that, Krebsy. I would love to hear that the crazy person talking to their dog doesn't like what the dog is saying to them through a text message. I am here for it. I would love to see that on a fucking headline. Person sues company because that's not what their dog would say. Like, bro, I would love that. I would laugh for a whole 30 seconds and be like, we are in dystopia. Woman sues company because that's not what my dog would say. Well, what would your dog say? Go ahead, crazy lady. Tell me what your dog would say. Well, if you pay the subscription model, we can input your dog's behavior so we can get your real life stats of your dog. And you could tell us how your dog would be acted. What voice would you like your dog? What kind of text would you like your dog to text you? Like, I would be here for it. This is fantastic. I'm working around this. Fucking crazy, but you put it on a dog, it really just changes the whole landscape of what the thing is. I'm here for it. I can't wait. I can't wait for this project to come out and people just put it around their dog. You know it's going to happen. We'll check back in on this company because they will have friend for human, friend for friend, and they'll call it best friend. Just saying. Patent pending. Because if it happens, I'm going to sue them. That's right, Kylo. Just make the collars from up. That is where the market's at, baby. That is where the market's at. This is called friend. The next rendition is called best friend, and that goes around your animal of choice. Therapy necklace. Order today. Whatever happened to infomercials? Do they still have infomercials? I don't watch TV. Billy Mays here. Used to love watching Billy Mays. Order today 2 therapy necklaces. Third one for free. Imagine your dog comes in the house. You're cooking something. He steals a meatball off the plate. He's done this. My mom was making meatballs while we were gone. And my dog got in and ate 12 meatballs. Imagine if you had this necklace around his neck. And you're like, did you eat those meatballs? And a text would come by and say, yum. You'd be like, oh, you're so silly. I can't get mad at you. I am following the Olympic stealth. The animal of your choice is my punishment. I've always wanted to talk to him. That. Sorry, says my penis. I'm weird? How is that weird? I didn't make the fucking invention. I didn't put a necklace around people's necks so you could talk to yourself and get a text message. You see the women's boxing and the first race in the river. What? No. Well, let me get this. Let me guess what's happening in the boxing. Man versus woman. And the first race in the river. What does that mean? Should I? Olympic river race? What am I typing in? Olympic pre-race triathlon canceled over river quality concern. Is that what you're talking about? How the river is like just gross? Let's watch this for a second.
In the 5-mile through Paris swim dive in by dozens, and the River Seine becomes a seething mass of splashing arms and kicking legs.
I would swim in the Seine.
I would swim in the Seine.
Yeah, I think as an experience, yes, but I have heard it's not completely safe, so...
I would try to get my head above my water and have a shower quickly afterwards.
Yeah, for
Wash
sure.
my hands.
As long as there was a shower easily available afterwards, then it would be worth it.
But I would wash, maybe not after rain, because after rain is when the bacteria levels are highest.
I'm a bit of someone who thinks water can be dirty. Like we swim in here and there can be little things touching your legs, but I don't know. If they test it and they say it's okay, I will trust the professionals, but I'm not sure if I would swim in it.
Yeah, I would, because I also swim in when it's hot. When the weather is hot in Amsterdam, I also swim in water over there. So yeah, it's.
So there's shit in the water, and people think Florida's water is bad because it's got gators. I'll take gators over shit. I'll take gators over shit any day.
This is the Ourcq Canal, one of the waterways that make up Paris's 120-kilometre-long canal network. The Summer on the Canal festival has brought new life to this stretch of water that now has more trees and wider paths. And local officials hope residents will embrace this part of the French capital after the Games.
Évidemment, le Stade de France est au bord du canal Saint-Denis. Le village des athlètes est à cheval sur la Seine, à Saint-Denis et à l'île Saint-Denis.
Can I get some translation here?
Le parc de la Villette, qui est le principal lieu de ferveur où se trouve le Club France, le Parc des Nations. Et donc, évidemment, les Jeux Olympiques vont amener un grand nombre de publics sur les canaux. Et nous, on est contents de ça parce que du coup, tout le potentiel touristique des canaux va se révéler à cette occasion.
This year at the festival, there is a particular focus on Olympic sports, like table tennis and archery. The organisers are aiming for a target of...
That's not what I want. This is just talking about like the games and stuff. Isn't Paris a shithole? I don't know. I've never been. Yep, and a woman forfeited after 45 seconds because she never got hit so hard. Do they really have men punching women in the Olympics? Talking about robots around people's necks, talking to ourselves, and now we have men punching women in the face in the Olympics. What are we doing? What are we doing as a society? They did a race, and right after they started puking. I didn't see any of the river races. I've only even watched the swim. I don't think they shit in the swimming pool. Nobody checked the fucking river before the fucking Olympics? Oh, they did, Sarge. They just didn't care. Do you remember? Was it Brazil? Where was it? No, Qatar. When they were having the Olympics and how many fucking things were bad over there? They don't care. Like, I don't understand, man. Krebsy says, Paris smells like piss. Everything's on fire. Rats everywhere. You could have just described, like, Washington, Seattle, Washington. You could have San Francisco, L.A., New York. I mean, let's not just focus in on Paris here, Krebsy. She was banned from Women's World Championship for testing positive as a man, but the IOC let him compete in the Olympics. Fucking retarded. Tarnish says, y'all better settle down thinking Paris resembles the Dark Ages. That's what I'm saying, Tarnish. You could, when Krebsy's saying that, could have described many, many cities. I've never been to Paris, so I don't know. Check the general Discord. Olympic trans athletes vomited after swimming in the river in Paris and teaming with E. coli. Nice. Who competed in the national team said during the swim she felt like she was hit on the head, after which she choked on the river water. Beautiful. Yeah. Fantastic. Nothing like swimming in shit water. All right, Kuda Papa. Have a good one. The beds they sleep on are made of cardboard? Well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Are you talking about the bed is made like... Are you talking about the bed structure is on cardboard, but the mattress is a mattress on cardboard? Is that what you're talking about? Because there is a company who makes, like, for dorms, for colleges to save costs, like, the structure that the bed is made on is cardboard, but they actually have a mattress. Ron says, I'm thinking about competing in women's softball next summer. I think you can go for it, Ron. Nate says, women's softball's rough, I hear. Partner says, I smell lawsuit and maybe something else. Yeah, nothing says the Olympics like shit water. You remember that time you won gold medal in the shit river? Yeah. I remember that time. How can I forget? Del says, but the man priority was given to all athletes sex-proof beds. Right. Right? They couldn't have sex on the beds. Is that what it is? I remember hearing a story. Here, let me see if I can find it. Hold on, let me see. Cardboard beds. Cardboard beds have returned to the Olympics. What do? They fall apart. Cardboard beds are making a comeback in the 2024 Olympics in an effort to help make the games more environmentally friendly. And according to some skeptical athletes, make sure that only sweat Olympic breaks is on the field. Okay? A now infamous 100% cardboard bed frames made the Olympics debut in the Tokyo Summer Games in 2021, and the athletes again found recyclable beds in their rooms when they arrived in this week's Olympic Village in Paris. Athletes in 21 dubbed the beds anti-sex, playing on a long-standing rumor that the Olympic Village is a hotbed for hookups amongst competitors, but Olympic organizers say that the bed's true focus is sustainability, the notoriously environmental harsh environment. Okay, let's check out these.
These are the famous Tokyo 2020 beds that made it to Paris 2024. We'll give you a few facts, but first we will try them. They consist of 3 modules, allowing athletes to choose the...
It's a pretty damn good structure of a bed.
firmness of the mattress and extended base on their sides. Here you can see an assembled bed. On one side it features the Paris 2024 Olympic duvet, and on the other the Paralympic duvet. These sustainable beds are 100% made in France and will be fully recycled in France after the games.
I have a question. If I want to have sex, why do I need a bed? I can have sex on the ground. How is that stopping sex? Anti-sex beds. Take the fucking mattress off the cardboard bed. You put it on the ground. You just have sex on the ground. What are we talking about here? People don't get paid for the Olympics. Someone's getting paid. Oh, yeah. They make a lot of money, Kurt. They make a lot of money off the Olympics. Ron says drinking river water should have been an Olympic event. Who can drink the most shit water? Well, speaking of lawsuit, the fat person from the opening ceremony is suing people for talking bad about her. Interesting. Interesting. The Olympics is a scam. All the money that they make, none of it goes to the athletes. They even banned Grindr to hookup app. And now there's an issue with people using glory holes too much. Yeah, these Olympics sound fantastic. Exactly right, Mo. Just do it on the floor. Sarge says, you mean young, in shape, best of the best athletes want to sleep with each other? Color me surprised. The ground has river water on it. Did you see the guy at the opening ceremony in that picture? His nutsack was hanging out on live TV. His nutsack, he literally pulled it out. He pulled his nutsack out on TV. True story. True story. We talk about some random shit on this podcast. I love it. Thanks, chat. That's a famous nutsack now. Hey, it's Nutsack Guy. If Hawk 2 Girl can be famous, Nutsack Guy can be famous as well, Argus. Although I don't think Nutsack Guy is going to get much more famous than Hawk 2 Girl. Krebsy says U.S. athletes get paid $37,000 for gold, $22,000 for silver, and $15,000 for bronze. What does everybody else get paid? What about the athletes that don't get gold or anything? Hawk 2 Girl is very attractive and likable. He's famous for saying Hawk 2. We all know what that means, though. Women always get the glory and easy fame for shit like that. True. All right, well, it's going to be a hell of a transition, but our next story. Discord on Xbox is about to get much, much better with addition to this highly requested feature. Stealth comes in here talking about shit river water and men punching people in the face or punching women in the face at the Olympics. And how we got to sex on the floor with cardboard beds, beyond me. But the next story, why you guys watch me, okay, is Discord on Xbox is about to get much, much better with the addition to the highly requested feature. Soon you'll be able to watch Discord game streams on your Xbox console. When you purchase through links on the site, you may earn an affiliate commission. Okay, not doing that. Discord is one of the most popular communication platforms in the world, especially for the gamers. Nearly 2 years ago, it officially integrated with Microsoft Xbox consoles, allowing Xbox users to voice chat with their friends on Discord. Now, starting this week, Xbox Insider Program members in the alpha skip ahead of the alpha rings can preview new features watching Discord game streams. This comes after the ability to stream games to Discord calls came in on September last year. By relinking your Xbox and Discord accounts, you'll be able to see your Discord friends on your Xbox friends list and join their calls on streams directly from the Xbox dashboard interface. Notably, streams viewing coming to Xbox widens the advantage it has over PlayStation in terms of Discord integration, and it's not possible to stream to the platform to watch streams from the Sony's consoles. Okay, so it's been nearly 2 years. Oh, we've already read that part. Let's see. This is important because coming to Discord integration of Xbox, however, another feature going to testing today is the ability to see what your friends' Discord friends are playing and when they're streaming it and call from their dashboard. As well as they're also chatting with their name and their server, and they're also allowed to 2 cases. Provided they also have voice channel accessible to you, you can also join in directly. To do this, you'll need to relink your account, which we already read. If you also have an alpha link, skip ahead alpha rings on Xbox Insider Program and plan to use these features, make sure that you leave feedback on the experience of Microsoft if it works. So I'm confused here. So from Xbox, I can now view someone streaming on Discord. Is that right? So I don't have to stream to YouTube. I can just stream, which was fine, because if you were in Discord, people in Discord could watch other people play video games, but now you can watch people in Discord from your Xbox. Is that what I'm getting here? Sarge says, how about you just allow Xbox to use 100% of the memory, or allow me to overclock it? Keep your Discord nonsense. Argus says, we didn't fight for women's equal rights to treatment to not punch them in the face. Sporting events, Mike. True, equality. I'm in the alpha version of the Xbox preview program. I have to check this out. Mike, did you get the New World stuff on the Insiders? I didn't check. I would have to check. Let me see. You don't see a lot of women turning to men and then going against sports, but you see it the opposite way around. Find that odd, huh? Doesn't work both ways. Let's see here. It's in the Insiders program. You talk about the perks, like the things, or is it in the actual? Hold on. Inside of the actual app. I got Hell Let Loose. I got Pal World. I got Valheim Public Test. I got Microsoft Flight Simulator Beta. I don't see here. This is what I got on my end. This is what I got on my end. This is it. Do I have to update the preview maybe? I'm on preview beta. There's preview delta, and there's preview omega. I'm in beta, but I can be part of delta or omega. I feel like I'm in a fraternity or sorority right now. In your eyes, Nate asks, okay, in your eyes, in the eyes of who, cuz in one of those punchable women or scratched her, you're going to jail. In the eyes of who, because if one of those is punchable women or scratch her, you're going to jail. Or for what? I'm confused. You're talking about them switching? YouTube has AI chat preview. I wonder if that chat has chat would be. If you have been invited to them to alpha version, I'm part of the alpha one. I check to see if I find a feature later when I get off work. Yeah, I don't think I'm part of the alpha. It says Delta. It says you receive builds of new features later in the testing process with fewer updates. Yeah, the beta. I'm definitely not an alpha. I don't even have an option to be an alpha. I can join Pal World. I can join Hell Let Loose, Valheim Public Test, Microsoft Flight Simulator Beta. Is that 2024? No, it's just the 15 update. Yeah, no New World or anything like that for me. The closer to alpha you are, the sooner you can get the experimental updates. The more experimental builds you get. Get an Xbox update super early. How do I even join that? Okay, Nate says, it being okay to punch a woman in the Olympics as one of us regular guys did, it would also go to prison, forget jail. Oh, for sure. Look, whatever you people think is fair because someone wants to change genders, that's a separate entity of competing, right? Competing with out of your class, right? You can't be a man. Even me, I'm not a big guy, but I could punch harder if I went against a woman. If I played against like anything, just our body. Like when they're kids, that's different. But when you're adults, we're completely two different. Like, look at Animal Kingdom. Like, look at how big a gorilla is, a male gorilla to a female gorilla. Look how big a bull is to a cow. Right? They're just fundamentally just different, regardless of how much testosterone and stuff that you have. For Alpha, you get a message to join. You have to be invited to it. Not one you can just pick. I received my message invite on Xbox. I guess you have to... How would they even clarify if you get involved with it? You know what I mean? Like with Alpha or whatnot. Yeah, it's definitely a clown world, Sarge. It's definitely a clown world. Like, do I have to play more beta games? And like, this guy played a lot of beta games, Argus. So we can invite him to the alpha? Like, I don't understand. I play a lot of fucking shit broken games. I should be invited. Like I said, I just got randomly invited. I've been part of the Xbox preview program for almost a decade. Yeah, I've been part of it for almost a decade, I would say, as well. I've been preview programmed since, I want to say, Xbox One, maybe 360. I don't even remember. It's been so long. Let me see what's going on Twitter. Oh, you know what? I think we surpassed 500,000. I think we surpassed 500,000. We're a little less than 400 views away. So tonight we'll probably hit it. 400 views away from 500,000 total views. So, okay, I just saw it on Twitter. It says the absolute travesty at the Olympics. Angelina Carlina is forced to box against a biological male. She quits just after 45 seconds and cries hysterically as her opponent is declared the winner. Like, what are we talking about? The Olympics has just gone out the window. You can't take anything. It decredits everything. It decredits everything. Like, what are we... One punch. That's all it took. One punch, and she's like, no, we're done. Bungie CEO Pete Parson reportedly spent $2.3 million buying classic cars as a Sony acquisition. Yeah, we already read that. Uh-oh. Hogwarts sales might go up. J.K. Rowling slams Paris Olympics, calling it a disgrace after biological male beats female in women boxing. She said, quote, a young female boxer just had everything she ever worked for, trained for, snatched away because you allowed a male to get into the ring. You're a disgrace. I stand by that. It is disgraceful. That girl is spending years of training to get to the Olympics just to have that happen. Yep. One punch. One punch. South Park prediction. South Park prediction did it again. Like the new Simpsons. Oh, you guys can't see it. You guys can't see it. South Park predicted it. Macho Man Randy Savage. Strong woman competition. What a disgrace. What a fucking disgrace. Yeah, there's literally nothing to discuss. Men are naturally stronger than women. That's it. And to compete at the highest level, right? The top of the top. Two people, like you said, Eclipse, right? Just like Joe Rogan said. Women that is trained to fight will be the man that is not to be also the man versus woman that are both trained. The man's going to win. 1,000%. Like, everything just goes out the window now, right? That's crazy. All right, let me see if there's any like actual game news real fast before. That's what a disgrace. Oh, you know what we never talked about? Let me look it up real fast. We never talked about this because I was on vacation. We never talked about this. We brought it up last night while we were playing the game a little bit. Okay? But Activision reportedly sold an AI-generated skin in Call of Duty. Okay? Never, ever been touched by a human. AI just made the thing, and they sold it. Right? It's an ongoing battle against the alternative generative AI, artificial intelligence in video games. It's been revealed that Activision released an AI-designed skin in Call of Duty Modern Warfare 3 elsewhere. Due to the mass layoffs, 2D artists have also been forced to use AI, with mandatory trainings being enforced. Information about the AI, Activision's AI, use comes from VI in-depth features by Wired, highlights the utilization of AI in game development, and fears developers are also information related to the AI in gaming. The feature was also published a few days ago. Precedes a Thursday decision of SAG-AFTRA initiates a strike to video game actors, seeks protections against generative AI use. Okay. Back in December of last year, Activision released a Wrath bundle of Modern Warfare 3. The bundle, which ran players 1,500 Call of Duty points, came in themed skin and a weapon blueprint, a load screen, and a calling card of a sticker, and that skin, according to Wire reporting, was made using AI. It's unclear the entire bundle was generative AI or just the skin. Does it matter? Right? Does it matter? So the bundle was released despite previous guarantees by Activision that the AI would not be used for final assets per the report. Instead, Activision assured developers it was simply an internal concept that, of course, was not followed through. For what it was worth, per the PlayStation Store, 2,400 COD points cost $20, meaning players potentially spent real-life money on a skin that was not created by an actual human. No, you got to support the developers. You've got to support the developers. You got to buy microtransactions because Todd, Tim, Sarah, Kim, they have to get the money. They're not getting the money. As far as AI use across Activision, a source told Wire that 2D artists are utilizing AI to add or aid to their work. And the result of mass layoffs in which the 2D artists were impacted, a lot of 2D artists were laid off. A source named Noah said remaining concept artists were then forced to use AI to aid in their work. Mandatory AI trainings have been implemented, according to Noah. It's unclear, based on Wire's reporting, whether Activision will refund players for who purchased it. It's also unclear potentially other bundles were made with AI. Unclear. Although it's also just beginning that it stands out to be a long battle over use of generative AI. Right? There is... We've talked about this. We've talked about this. Okay? They are firing people so they can just use AI, and the people that are back, that are left, have to use AI. AI is going to make all of this stuff Exhibit A. And people are like, well, I want to buy it because I want to support the devs. You're not supporting the devs, you're supporting the CEOs. Supporting the guys up in the upper management that can go buy yachts and cars and whatever else they want, right? Insane. Insane. And the only reason they say this is because they got caught. Eclipse says, did you see that Andrew Wilson said that they are going to use more AI in their games because college football sold so good, they'll use AI in a lot of that game. Can't imagine why, Eclipse. Chris says, damn it, really made my blood boil. No kidding. Screw the French Olympics executives are allowing such ridiculous event. Yeah, it decredits everything about what the Olympics stands for. Sarge says, if you buy AI skin made by AI, then complain about the devs not doing better work. You are the problem. Problem is you won't be able to tell what is done by, unless spoken about, Sarge. They will not know. We will not know if it was AI made or human made. Nate says, Brain, college football is fun, having a blast, way better than Madden. I have a question, Nate. What about if the game was made completely by AI, like Brain was saying that Andrew Wilson was going to do, right? Let's just say that they make the next college game all by AI, no humans made the game, because that will happen down the line, right? What then? Do we still support the companies because they made a piece of entertainment? Or do we not? It's a question for everybody, not just Nate. Argus says, when I see Andrew Wilson these days, I think of conservative online debater, not some head game studio guy. I don't know who that is. Like one of those preachers? Like one of those preacher guys? Bert says, hashtag save the developers. You could buy load screens. That's right. Buying load screens and flashbang skins in COD. What an amazing game that is. Bert says if it's a good game, sure. But doesn't that, again, well, I guess for Kurt, if you're trying to support the devs, but there's no devs making the actual game, who are you supporting at that point? He calls himself a blood sports debater. Interesting. I don't think I would, but if it's a fun game, but it is a fun game, College Football 25. Oh yeah, no, I'm not saying about, I'm not talking about the college football. I just brought it up a thing, right? Because what Brain said or Clip said about Android Wilson. And we're just talking about AI generative stuff. If a game is completely made by AI, regardless if it's fun or not, would we be okay with it? Obviously, we wouldn't know because they wouldn't tell us until someone spilled the beans. Right? Because there will be a time where people don't make games anymore. And just AI won't be one guy just make a football game. And it'll just make a football game. Rebsy says, gaming only have morals if the short term. It will just take a few years till people are fine with the AI games. I think you're right, Krebsy. I think people will look at it and go, if it's not told to us that it's made by AI, right? If it's not told to us it's made by AI, then we would just assume it's made by normal people until it's told to us that AI made this game. But if the game was super fun, then we would look at it and go, well, I'm having more fun with this AI game than I did when people were making the game. And then you would be okay because as a consumer, it really doesn't matter if the developers were in a war, like Stalker 2 devs, right? If they lost their jobs, if they were taken over by AI, because at the end of the day, as a consumer, you just care about yourself. Pay for product. Is product good? Am I having fun? And if an AI made that game and you're having fun and you paid for a product and that product is complete, then we really wouldn't care if it was made by people or not. Eclipse says that's another law there needs to be something that companies have it, said it that the AI in it, how much. Right, like YouTube's putting. Like you have to tell people if you have AI in your videos. Margaret says, Sarge, they sell bundles with flashbang, grenades, score streaks, skins now, too. Thinks you see for about a single frame. Amazing. Nate says, stores don't have real cashiers anymore. All self-checkout, at least in Milwaukee. Flip says, like Steam is making the companies that have to put AI in their tags. Right, same. You gotta let us know. Dolphin says, Sarge, I'm not joking. I saw them in Fortnite this past weekend. There you go. They're taking load times down, but they're selling you load screens. Amazing. I really wish I had my necklace to talk to right now. People used to operate elevators. No one went screaming for their jobs. That's a little different, Kurt. High-end hotels used to have people, because what would happen is in hotels, to be more efficient, instead of people all pushing the buttons and then you would wait so long for the thing, people would be in the elevators to push the buttons in higher end so people could get out of the building faster. But no one's going, oh, you took a job from me because of an elevator. That was not a high profile job for elevators. I mean, I get what you're saying, right? There were people that push buttons for elevators, but that's for high-end hotels, which they still have, by the way. Dolphin says, tell your necklace how scared you are for the future of AI brought load screens. It will say, it'll come back and say, I'm sorry, I'll speak to the boss. That's what it would say. Oh, twisted. Twisted. That is excellent. What an excellent thing. You get a round of applause, my friend. That's 10 points to Twisted. Being a lift operator is a great job, but it does fair to share its ups and downs. You get a round of applause and 10 points. Twisted has the point lead today for shitty dad joke. Twisted didn't say much today, but when he did, he came in with the big win. Oh no, you're good, Twisted. You're good. We're like whose line is it anyway? We just give out random points. There's no winners. There's no winners. But you're leading today. You are the leader. Kurt says, the future for low-level jobs looks bleak. I worry for the unskilled worker. I think will be a big problem. Well, a lot of people don't want to work. There's a whole group of people that don't want to work. Then there's a whole bunch of people that want to work, right? But they can't get a job because they're not skilled. But a lot of people that are not skilled and stuff are actually starting different jobs. Only when you're pushed to your limits will you You'll do anything you can, right? If you're pushed up against so far, you'll do something to change unless you don't care. But most people care, right? If you're struggling and you're not making enough money and you're really pushed back and no one wants to help you, you got to push yourself, right? So if you're not skilled at something, you'll take a job, you'll do something else. Altern says AI in games could be good if the prices go down, but they don't. I bet the COD skin costs $40. It costs $20 for the package, but prices will never go down. If you think they will lower the price, okay, because AI created it, no. They want less people working, AI making more stuff, and they'll charge more because it's a commodity. Because AI created it. Silent Warrior says 10 hours left to play Luna and 16 hours before I can start the grind again. Valby, man, might take a break until that too much grinding yesterday. Apparently, Silent, there's a glitch right now. Stealth said that Valby's stuff is like a guaranteed drop. So grind away until they fix it. They better be careful. Z says they better be careful on how much AI creates because legally wouldn't it be an issue to copyright something? I think in that situation, Z, they would make something and ask for forgiveness later. Do you know what I mean? The business would see what they could get away with. And then, if they get caught, then they would pay the fine. But at that point, the fine would the money they made from that would outweigh the penalty. I think you're being very lenient by saying 1 minute. I'm pretty sure that AI took 15 seconds to make it. That's exactly right, Z. It's always better to ask for forgiveness than permission. If they ask permission, they would have to jump through hoops and do all these different things and sign the dotted line and get all this stuff. But if you do it, and then someone comes and says, well, you can't do that, they're like, all right, we'll have to fine you $9 million. They're like, oh, not $9 million. All right, what do we got? That's only 450,000 microtransactions they had to sell for that bundle. Right? You see what I'm saying? Even AI needs a deadline. Yeah, 15 seconds. Get to work, AI. I need this done in 12 seconds. Uber did that to the taxi business? Right. And they paid the fines and stuff. They don't care. That's the way it works. That's business for you. That's business for you. Uber destroyed the taxi companies? Yep. Yep. I have a question. For the boxing match that went on with the girl, that wasn't for a medal. That was just the start of boxing, right? Tom Warren, 5 minutes ago, says Microsoft is about to delay Avowed slightly. I'm hearing that Obsidian is about to announce an Avowed delay to early 2025. More on this in the notepad this week. Stop making announcement dates if you can't make the announcement date. We'll talk about this tonight. I'm not going to talk about this right now. Microsoft team is finally cleaning up the chats and channels. I'm not going to talk about this now. So Avowed is going to be delayed to 2025. Yeah, I don't want to cannibalize tonight's show with other things. Yeah, it's right now it's not official, It's not official, but Tom Warren comes out and says that Xbox will make an announcement that it will be delayed to early 2025, but Xbox hasn't come out and said anything just yet. I'm just trying to see anything else. Yeah, Report Verge says that Avowed is getting delayed to 2025. Game is in good shape. The delay is for more matter of waiting to give the game a breathing room outside of a very busy period for Xbox Game Pass. This is interesting. Talk about, maybe we'll talk about this tonight. I don't know if we'll fit it in with all the other shit we have. So Ubisoft has announced NFL Primetime Fantasy, a mobile game tied into live NFL games. It's a mobile card-based game which allows players to enjoy fantasy football that tied into real-time game data. There's a little tease for you. We'll talk about maybe that tonight. So an announcement for an announcement. Well, I think in a leak for an announcement. They said coming later this year, so there is your date. If that said it was coming in 2025, it's delayed. Yeah, it said it was coming out 2024, second half, and now it's going to get pushed back to 2025. I would assume that was pushing out during November, but now that Stalker 2 got pushed back 2 months, that it's filling in that gap. Avowed, Argus, Avowed. Nate says, Outlaws Game of the Year. It won't even get nominated. Won't even get nominated. For Game of the Year. I just want to put that out there. It'll get nominated for something, but it will not get nominated for Game of the Year. Yeah, everybody's running with the report claimed, leaked, whatever. Altern says, yeah, right. I want to be nominated for Employee of the Month. We all have dreams. Kurt says, I worry about Avowed. Something doesn't smell right. They say they're okay. They're just pushing it back because of how crowded it is. Nate says, I'm going to nominate it. I'll get a movement started. You go right ahead. You go right ahead. I smell a bet. Outlaws nominated for Game of the Year. There's no bet. There's doesn't need to be a bet because it won't get nominated. It will not get nominated. Hogwarts Legacy didn't get nominated. That was a fantastic game. So if Star Wars Outlaws comes out and it's a fantastic game, it still will not get nominated. It's going to shock a lot of people and a lot of Star Wars fans. I wouldn't be shocked, but it's not going to happen. But we'll see, Nate. Concord can get nominated. Concord could get nominated. Best new... They'll make up a category. Best new live service game that costs $40 with SBI in it. Concord. Xbox used to let you renew, but apparently now with the new price hike, you can't. You can, because I think you can still do up to a certain period of time. But you only can do it like 3 months at a time or something like that. You can't do the whole year. You got to buy the cards or stuff now, and you can preload, I think, like 2 years or something like that. Yeah, you're allowed to like the game, and it could be a good game, but that game is not getting nominated for Game of the Year. There's got to be like pretty low-end tier games, and I can already think of, right? You got Stellar Blade. You're going to get. Is there a Final Fantasy Part 2 coming out this year? Right. You got the Elden Ring DLC that could get Game of the Year, by the way. Because God knows they're taking DLCs and putting it in his game. Let's see what other games came out this year. Right, Veilguard could be up there. Who knows? We got Elden Ring, Shadows of Etri. We got, let's see. Destiny 2 Final Shape. Does that count? Right? That could be up there. Dragon's Dogma 2. Hades 2. Helldivers 2. A lot of twos. Got Paper Mario, Thousand Year Door. Persona 3. Prince of Persia. Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Right? That came out this year. Final Fantasy XIV Dawn Trail. Final Fantasy 16 the Rising Tide. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. People like Pacific Drive, Stellar Blade. Tales of Kenzura. A lot of games, man. A lot of games, and then we get 6. What do we got in the what do we got in the second half? We get down to where are we in? We're in August. Ah, we're in August 1st already. Got Once Human that came out, right, recently. Let's see here. Let's go through this list. That's in beta though, isn't it? God knows what they Black Myth Wukong. That's definitely going to get nominated. I can't see that not getting nominated. Visions of Mana. Could have Warhammer, Space Marines 2. Got Throne and Liberty. Who knows? Maybe. Frostpunk 2 comes out in September. What's the Legend of Zelda Echoes of Wisdom? Is that the other... Is that the Zelda game? Like the actual... What are we talking about? Jones, Nate said that Star Wars Outlaws Game of the Year, and I said it won't get nominated. And so then we started going into what games could potentially come out. Oh, I know people don't like it, but Hellblade 2 could be up there, right? Mario and Luigi's Brothership, that could be up there. Assassin's Creed Shadows could be up there. Yeah, I said Destiny 2. I don't know if they take DLCs or not, but... A Zelda game that is Zelda. So you're saying all those games are better than Outlaws. I only heard like 5 you named. Like, I don't know what to tell you. The games that have come out, there's already like 3 or 4 games that could be in the 6 games total. There's going to be other games that come out. Wuhong's not out yet, right? That's probably going to take another position. Okay, Final Fantasy, right? That takes a position. What's the other game that came out? That game came out earlier this year. I can't think of it off the top of my head. Right? I haven't played Outlaws just like you. I'm just looking at what I've seen. I don't see it being nominated. You could like the game. It could be your nomination for Game of the Year. That was this year. Yeah, that was January or February when it came out. Oh yeah, Zelda and the Mario game could easily take 1 to 2 spots away from other games out there. For sure. The cutoff date is November 18th. So even games that came out in December last year or at the second half of November last year could be into this. So I don't know what game came out last year, like November, if a big game came out. Shadows will be 2. So you think Ubisoft They could have, technically, they could have 3, right? Because, well, 4. Well, let's take the whole boat. Let's take the whole boat, Nate. Skull and Bones, Avatar, Star Wars, and Shadows could all be nominated. Ubisoft could run the whole board with all their games. Nate says, Outlaws reminds me of the most GTA Star Wars world imagined and added to online like GTA 5. Well, you'll be very disappointed because in Star Wars Outlaws, you can't take anyone else's vehicle. In Star Wars Outlaws, you can't shoot the animals that are in the world. You can't even shoot a random pedestrian on the thing. So if you're comparing Outlaws to GTA 5, you're going to be sadly underwhelmed. Flip says, let's go, Ubisoft, best company in the world. Kurt says, going to download 76 while doing yard work. Are there any tips, 30? Well, do you want to play the game for just the story? Or do you want to play the game for what the game is, like living in the world and like doing everything? You know what I mean? Like, there's more to the game than just playing. If you're just playing for the story, no tips. Just play the story. Scrap everything. Scrap everything. Okay? And constantly just chuck whatever you don't want. That's what I'll do. Yeah, don't keep anything. If you're not going to do Fallout first, which you get the junk drawer that it's unlimited type of stuff, but you have to pay monthly for that, right? So because you have unlimited storage then. If you're not paying for Fallout first and you're just playing Fallout 76, scrap everything. Pick a build that you want to go with, right? Find a build you want to go with and just run with that. And then don't worry about everything else. Yeah, if you think Star Wars Outlaws is Grand Theft Auto and that's what you're going with, Nate, you're going to be sadly mistaken. Krebsy says Final Fantasy Rebirth, Stellar Blade, Black Myth, Paper Mario, 2 spots empty because I don't know early access games and expansions would count. Right. If the expansions and stuff count, you can put Final Shape in there because it's the last of, be like the Lord of the Rings syndrome in the movie industry, right? You finally put Destiny in there at the very end, or you put the Elden Tree in there from Elden Ring. With the heist, I want and wanted system, but if they did an online like GTA, that would put that in the online. Sure. But again, Nate, you're exciting yourself up and getting hyped up for that game for stuff that hasn't been announced or anything, right? So right now there is no online version. And yeah, there is a wanted level, but it's not Grand Theft Auto. You can't do anything like you can in Grand Theft Auto in that game. There's tons of people that have shown footage now and talked about what you can do in the game, and it's not that. To throw Last of Us Part 2 remastered up there. When did that come out? Did that come out? I think that came out before the November 18th deadline, if I'm not mistaken. Even if it did. Oh no, it came out. That came out this year, January? Oh, that could be up in the running. That could be up in the running, which is sad. depending on the release date, NBC Collection is taking the higher spot. Good. Well, we do know remasters can get up for Game of the Year because Resident Evil did it last year. So we do know remasters can get up there. Altern says, why does everyone forget about the ad, the best looter shooter of all time to be nominated? Yeah, I'm talking about Suicide Squad, baby. Sarge is still stuck on the boxing. He's still stuck on boxing. The first Descendant is too grindy. I bought all the Descendants. I don't have time. But if you don't have time, then why did you buy the Descendants? When are you going to have time to play the characters? The day before also qualifies. I don't think it does because it wasn't even out for like 24 hours. Yeah, it is sad. The whole situation. All right, it's 1 o'clock. That's going to do it for us for today. We'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern. I got them all leveled up to 40. But you just said you didn't have time to grind, so you bought them all. So do you continue to... I guess what my next question is, Nate, do you plan on still playing now that you have all this time? So you bought the extra slots as well? You got them all leveled up to level 40. You know they go up to 400, right? So you're only one-tenth of the way with each of those. Nate is Travis's alt account. Each character's 1/10 when you're at 40. Yeah. So you'll have plenty of time not to have time to play them. Argus says, getting the character to level 40 is just the beginning. You can prestige them 9 times to increase their stats and mid-max to the module setup. How do you get them past 40? Well, you don't have time for that, so you're going to have to pay for it. So, just write a check. All right, we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for some Generation X Gaming, the weekly podcast that goes over the few of the top stories from the past week, and we rant along the way. Join me and Sarge tonight as we do the end of each and every single week on this channel. If you'd like to help us out here on this channel, you can hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do this Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. We do live streams, uploads, gameplay, and we do podcasts. I appreciate it very much. You guys have a great rest of your afternoon. I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.